Hello, my name is Rusty Tryon, and I'm the director of the Rooney Library at St. Mary of the Woods College. In the next few minutes, I'd like to share with you about my library's implementation of OCLC's Tipasa Interlibrary Loan Management System using Dudar's rapid change model to frame the process. St. Mary of the Woods College is a Catholic liberal arts college located just outside of Terre Haute, Indiana, on a 300-plus acre rural campus. The college offers 65 programs of study from the associates to doctoral level. Just over 175 full and part-time faculty teach approximately 1,200 students, a third of whom study online and just over 20% of whom are enrolled in graduate programs. The Rooney Library employs one full-time librarian, myself, and 8 to 10 student assistants during the academic year. The library has a volunteer archivist as well. The library is open 76 hours per week during the academic year. Around 600,000 items are accessible through the library's collections, 88% of which are available online. During the academic year, the library's interlibrary loan activity is managed by the librarian and one student assistant who helps with lending. The library is a free lender, an Elvis member, and an OCLC Express digital delivery program participant. Prior to implementing Tipasa in 2021, the library used OCLC's WorldShare ILL system. Historically, the library's ILL work focused on lending returnables, and it maintained a net borrower status. During the pandemic, the library conducted holdings projects, which transformed its ILL services, resulting in lending mostly non-returnables and achieving net lender status. In the next few slides, I'll provide a quick statistical overview of ILL activity from recent years. The library realized a nearly 600% increase in ILL activity from fiscal year 18-19 to fiscal year 20-21. In fiscal year 19-20, the library transitioned to a net lender status for the first time in its history. In fiscal year 20-21, the borrowing lending ratio reached 1:6. Whereas in fiscal year 18-19, non-returnables accounted for only 8% of items supplied with only 21 copies, in the last fiscal year they accounted for 93% of items supplied with just over 3,400 copies. The turnaround time for supplying items has dropped in recent years as well, from just under 1 day to just over 4 hours. Dudar's rapid change model, depicted in the figure shown, emerged from her doctoral work in 2013, and it was developed in the context of K-12 education in Canada. The anticipated time frame for change is about 3 years. This time frame is not prescriptive, and Dudar acknowledges that not all steps and components may be applicable to any given change situation. However, the social scientific model does offer, quote, a sequential and systematic process which is evidence-based, research-informed, and encompasses insights from leaders and stakeholders, end quote, that can be applied to other related contexts, such as libraries. Dudar notes that change is normal and even expected. Like most institutions of higher learning, change is part of the institutional culture at SMWC. While change can be initiated by any number of external bodies and constituents and/or internal forces, at SMWC, the upgrade to Tipasa was initiated by the librarian. Of the various potential drivers of change, the primary forces leading to change at the Rooney Library were staff dissatisfaction with current tools and methods, as well as awareness of technology available to address ILL management problems. This initial step in the change model also considers the rationale for and purpose of the change. Increased ILL activity at SMWC demanded a change. There were also needs to share ILL workload to increase efficiency and to provide a self-managed ILL interface for users. The step of conceptualizing rapid change is essentially taking a big picture view of the entire change process from start to finish. At a macro level, it entails envisioning what the change will look like and who should be involved. The various components of this step are replicated in detail in the remaining steps. Leader self-reflecting and self-evaluating focuses on the leader's readiness to initiate change with several considerations. The leader must be aware of the types of change. The transition to Tipasa represented a simple structural change, as opposed to more complex personnel or programmatic change, since it involved alternative infrastructure and resources. In my previous professional experience, I led and managed many projects to initiate change. I possessed the confidence, drive, and determination to lead the change. I also possessed necessary interpersonal skills, such as relationship building and communication, to facilitate the needed change. The stress caused by the change was handled through the personal support system comprising my family, mentor, and colleagues. While I did not undertake the change alone and unaided, I did not convene a task force. Although I did not articulate and share a vision, I did have in mind an end goal of providing better ILL services. The vision for change was fueled by my passion to provide improved services. Engaging in the rapid change process is the step where the rubber meets the road, so to speak, as it focuses on concrete action points. The pre-planning of the change was essentially already done by OCLC. They provided detailed implementation documentation, including planning guides and checklists. ILL stats served as the main evidence collected to inform decision-making and to justify the change. As noted previously, I did not utilize a task force. Various methods were used to communicate the change throughout the process. Email blasts, social media posts, a webinar, website content updates, and an ILL LibGuide were the various channels used before, during, and after the change. Resistance to the change was non-existent in this situation, or at least it was not communicated. In order to build capacity for the change, limited one-on-one student assistant training was conducted in addition to the training I received. Dudar lists several components that can be leveraged to accelerate change. For me, key support individuals were select IT personnel at my college and OCLC training personnel. Feedback and communication were constant with local IT staff and OCLC staff, with many emails, phone calls, and video conferences. Flexibility was especially needed when determining the best authentication method, as various options and local capabilities had to be considered. The most public recognition was OCLC's announcement about our adoption of Tipasa, although I delighted in the small victories during implementation when things just worked as they were meant to. The most basic proof of plan was the over 300 libraries who had already adopted Tipasa. Several sources have been used to monitor the change to Tipasa. Since implementation, 273 users have been registered in Tipasa. ILL stats are collected and reviewed on a monthly basis. I still field occasional questions from users and often direct users to utilize Tipasa rather than requesting materials via email, although these types of communication are becoming fewer. In the end, our implementation of Tipasa was deemed a success, and virtually all reactions that have been expressed have been positive. The sustained use of Tipasa is aided by ongoing data collection and ongoing education of users. The cost for the system has been incorporated into the library's regular operating budget, which reflects administrative support of the change. Because no task force was formed, no visionaries besides myself exist. Most professional development comes through various opportunities that are provided by OCLC. All implementations of Tipasa are meant to be relatively quick. OCLC notes that a typical implementation of Tipasa takes around 60 days, although it can be completed effectively within 30 days. The implementation was especially compressed at my library because of the holidays in both November and December. The bulk of the implementation work was completed in just a few weeks, from mid-November to early December, with a holiday in between. Tipasa was effectively in use in just a little over 2 weeks, since WorldShare ILL was turned off on December 1. We officially launched Tipasa in January 2021 because the fall semester ended at the very beginning of December. Thank you for reviewing my presentation. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact me.